A fallacy was the term, but the punches of climate change hitting below the belts. The adventurers have a better view. Taraba, nature's gift to the nation, our destination, in particular fulfilling the dreams of the legendary house and music maestro, Mambila of blessed memory. Climbing the Mambila hills was his dream, but the fear of the twists, turns, the deep gorges and the peaks. Leaving the capital city Jalingo, a ride to Sever, and suddenly the hills fitting the description of the Smoky Mountains of eastern Tennessee, courtesy of Dolly Parton. Gashaka, an ancient town with a warm embrace. A national pride, bounty of fauna and flora spanning more than 6,000 kilometers of wilderness, flowing rivers and gardens looking up to the description of some parts of heaven.
This national park have about 480 different animal species that are moving around, which people need to see. We have the biggest forest so far in the national park. So in terms of tourism, the animals, the hills, the highest point in Nigeria, which is the Chabalwade, is just about 57.7 kilometers away from this national park. So this national park has these values, which many people don't know. We are trying to unveil and showcase these values for people to know in the world that we have a national park that has everything that people need in terms of tourism. Now we are partnering with African nature investors, the ANI, the GUMTI National Park, which is the National Park Service, to see that the world know that we have a national park that has everything it needs. We have over 200 different types of birds. We have different types of butterflies here. We have also the crocodiles in the waters. We have the hippopotamus in the river, and we have the eagles. All these animals are here. There's a period of silence movement in the national park. If you go on the silence movement, you see different types of animals. When you are moving with the sound and the car, sometimes you leave and move trek for some kilometers, then you see the animals coming. As we're coming, we saw some antelopes on the road. So I think these are things that people need to come and see. You will understand that before it takes 10 hours to trek from Barua town to Gashaka village. That is the source of the Barua headquarters of Gashaka local government. So now you can move within 2 hours, you are already there. So it is easier for people to come now to see these areas because of the partnership we have with ANI, the community, and the Gashaka village, Gashaka local government itself. So the security also has improved. The national park is protected. The people are protected. The road is easy for people to come and see. The nature of protection of the national park has improved dearly, that I think we see everybody that can come for tourism.
This is the biggest national park in West Africa because it has a diverse expanse of land area of 6,400 square kilometers. which harbors diverse fauna and flora, and also ancient habitation sites associated. So you look at it, it's not just biodiversity, but a living civilization that has flourished along for so many years. So we expect this site to be a mixed property. With the trend of this climate change, it's not easy for you to say, even in the rainforest, to see how diversity is being conserved like this. This park consists of 4 ecological zones. You have the rainforest, you have mountain rainforest, you have mountain Guinea savanna, you have Sudan savanna, and even the mountain itself, mountain vegetation. So even with the incursion of this climate change, the park still remains intact. And most of the species of the trees are still there. The fauna are there. The people that are living around are there. So it is a living civilization whereby you can link nature with culture, which cannot be found elsewhere. Yes, you can see the work of nature and how the people are even subsistent on the biodiversity and how they now lived for so long without adverse effects, whether from the biodiversity or the community. In the park, you see there are some pools, like the hippopotamus pool. You see them in large numbers. There's also a crocodile pool that harbors a lot of crocodiles. So, and you see, in most communities, some of these aquatic animals are going extinct because of poaching, because of lack of water, because of desiccation and degradation. So, but these are places, these aquatic animals and reptiles are intact. They have been conserved by the National Park. I think the National Park Services is doing well in this regard.
When you manage this type of very vast area, you'll encounter some challenges, and we have to manage the resources to stop people from going in to destroy the resources we have. So it's quite challenging. You have to put a lot of resources on the ground. You have to mobilize, coordinate the communities and all the relevant stakeholders to do that. So that actually is a quite challenge, but we are able to summon that challenge, and we are doing actually so far so good. We can see the area is calm, like here in Gashaka, in terms of people, and we visited the park. You can see how calm it is. It is all because of those efforts. But definitely we have challenges which we are always trying to solve, and we'll continue to face those challenges, and we'll also be able to solve some of the challenges so that we'll be able to achieve our core mandate in conserving the resources of the park. But what we are saying, National Park, it's not that all these resources we are not going to use them. What we are advocating is sustainable use of the resources. So when you allow hunters, as you have said, hunters will go and kill animals indiscriminately, but the young, they won't, so no. We have that problem with the community, but what we do, we engage the community, because this management is a participatory management. We involve all the stakeholders, and the community are major stakeholders in this program. And we have programs like conservation education that we run so that to educate the community. These are why we are conserving these resources. Some of them, they have misgiving that why are you, this is a God-given resources, allowed to go and eat our bushmeat and so on and so forth. We say no, nobody will stop you from eating bushmeat or not, but allow you to conserve these resources so that after we have a management plan, that if these resources are abundant, we allow for sustainable use, either animals, plant, and whatever. But you cannot go into the park and kill indiscriminately or lock all the trees and so on and so forth. And because of all this conservation education outreach we are doing to the stakeholders, particularly the local community, I think we are winning the battle gradually, and a lot of them have come to understand the importance of this. And that is why we are getting the support we are getting. Without the support of the community, you cannot even go back. You cannot even go into that into the national park because they are the ones surrounding the park. You can cause a lot of problems, a lot of resistance, and so on and so forth. So we continue that engaging the community so that the management will be participatory. Not only the national park, no, this is the resources for all people, for for Nigerians.
Somewhere in the park, a flowing river, a river at its peak at this point in time. It's rainy season and an opportunity for tourists to either go fishing or rafting. But for us today, we're about to cross and create a camp over there where we're going to spend a night.
These eye-opening youth camp and community engagement are steps towards putting the park where it belongs.
This program was launched by UNESCO in 2008 to create awareness about the World Heritage Sites and also to involve young people in the protection and preservation of World Heritage Sites and monuments. So GUMTI and Mambila Plateau is one of the sites that were selected for this year's program, which of course we have brought in volunteers across the 36 states of the Federation and also international volunteers. And also we have representatives from different organizations as the major stakeholders, which we have about 17 organizations being represented in this project. The aim of this project is to create awareness and also to promote tourism and also to promote our rich culture and heritage of Nigeria, precisely for the GUMTI and also for the Mambila Plateau. The mission for GUMTI is to see how we work as partners together to elevate GUMTI to World Heritage status. GUMTI has been on the tentative list for over 20 years, so we believe that this program will kickstart the process of elevating Gashaka to the World Heritage status, because it has all it takes. But it's a continuous process where we work together as partners to see how we can work with the community itself, because we want the community to own this project. The project belongs to the community, so we want them to own the project. We want to see how through this project we can also improve the livelihood of the people of both the Gashaka and also on the Mambila Plateau on the tea farm that is here. We have about 8 enclaves communities in the GUMTI, and these enclaves communities were all represented during the stakeholders engagement. And we also had the representative from the local government, the traditional council, because they need to understand why we are here. And that was why we did the community engagement. We created awareness about the park and also the need why we have to continue protecting the park and also preserving the park, and why we have to elevate GUMTI to World Heritage status, and why we need their support, because they are number one in this, they are key in this, because we want them, this project is for them, it's not for any of the organization that it's here. It's for the community, it's for them. So that is why they need to understand the essence of this program, why this program is important to them, and also why this program is also going to help in improving the livelihood. By the time we promote this tourism, the poor person, the woman that is selling akara will have something to sell to those tourists that are coming. You know, the people that are going to be involved in taking care of the resorts or any other area in these places, we are going to create employment to these people, you understand? So a lot of livelihood. It's going to be, we're going to change the life of so many people that are, creating employment, wealth to these people.
Here is a melting point of mountains and rivers with an infinite variety of flora. Much more dwells within the park, and this has more to snatch and keep a sniffing tourist.
How long are you guys staying in here? Maybe like a week or two, I'm not sure. Yeah.
These wonders of nature may have fallen short of its value in the eyes of its dwellers and managers, but not for the adventurers like Nick and his father. They have decided to drive across Africa from Canada, and Nigeria tops their expectations.
We decided as a family to start traveling like this about 5 years ago, and we bought a bigger truck than this one, and there was my wife, my other son, and Nick, and we traveled around quite a few different parts of the world, and then this trip we decided to take a little break, and just Nick and I would do it, and with the smaller truck, and yeah, I got ill like 10 years, 15 years ago, and it kind of helped me think a little bit differently about life and maybe do other important things instead of just working and, you know, that kind of thing.
So did that inform the need to start traveling once again?
Yeah, just, yeah, to experience more, so, yeah.
But then, why Africa in the first place?
Few reasons. I have an African son, and so he, you know, he grows up in Canada, and he's surrounded by more white people than black people, and I think it's fantastic to be the opposite of that here as well. And Africa's beautiful, and there's so much to see. It's so big, right? And so many different cultures, people, landscapes. It's just perfect for me to see.
Like a layman would begin to ask, you know, there's a big, you know, ocean between Africa and Canada, where you're coming from, and then now you're driving into Africa.
Yeah.
How did it all start?
Yeah, so we got the truck ready to go, and we put it in a sea container, and we shipped it from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada to Kenya, Mombasa. And yeah, picked it up there, and then we've driven 20,000 kilometers to get over here to Nigeria now. So.
But then how has it been?
It's been excellent. Yeah, we've enjoyed all of it. It's been fantastic. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And the Nigerians are by far the friendliest. So it's been amazing.
Again, you know, there's this kind of language barrier. You know, there are places that you go, people don't speak either French or English.
Yeah.
How do you know, go through that?
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is not being able to communicate, right? And Angola, it was Portuguese, and I don't know one word of Portuguese, so yeah, it's hard, and you miss so much when you can't communicate. So we were really happy getting into Nigeria again, where we speak English. Yeah. But we use Google Translate or hand signals or a few basic words of French.
Just responding. Yeah. So, but there's a lot of negativity about Africa. You know, when you talk about Africa, you say you want to come to Africa. People say, no. There's insecurity. There's bribery, crossing borders, and so on and so forth. What's your experience?
It's been great. Yeah, we've had no real problems. The visas are a lot of work. You've got to do visas for every country, basically. But other than that, the bribery or anything like that has been pretty much nothing. There's been a couple of cops that have asked for like a water or something like that, but that's it, nothing. And they didn't, once you said no, or if you gave it whatever, it was fine. Yeah, it was, but not in Nigeria, nothing. And Angola, nothing. Cameroon, nothing. Like, it's been really good up the West Coast. So.
Then what about the bureaucracy of the documentation at the entry point?
Yep.
Like once you want to from one country to the other.
Yeah.
Didn't that kind of delay you?
A little bit, but not much. As long as you have your visa, that's okay. And then the truck has a carnet, so it has basically its own passport, and that ensures that the vehicle comes in, it gets stamped in, and then it gets stamped out, and it's covered. If it were to be left behind, there would be a bond paid by a company in the U.S. actually, and so it makes it quite easy. Yeah.
So in totality, how many hours do you normally spend driving before you can just decide, okay, let's relax, and then?
It depends on the day. So we like to drive 150 to 200 kilometers, hopefully on average per day, to kind of keep moving. But some days might be a 500 kilometer day, or that's a big day for us in this truck. But some days we do nothing and we just stay somewhere. So yeah.
Sightseeing and the rest of it.
Yeah.
So in totality, you're going to about 20 African countries? Or
I think a few more than that even, maybe 22 to 23, 24, something like that. Yeah.
So from there to Morocco.
Yep.
So when you get to Morocco?
Not quite sure. I think we'll probably be shipping the truck home at that point from Spain and calling it quits. But we'll see. Well, maybe we'll get to do a bit of Europe. So we'll see how the time goes. We've been traveling as a family of 4 for a while, and then I graduated high school, so we thought we might as well do a big trip, and we said Africa seems like a pretty cool place to do it. My mom and brother said they don't really want to go. My brother's big into football, so he said he wants to stay home and play a season. So me and my dad decided we should do the trip on our own. In this truck, the truck we've had for like 15 years. We built it. The truck was free originally, and we built the camper for $2,500 Canadian on the back, and we thought, why not do a big trip with it, ship it to Mombasa. We've been driving all the way to Nigeria now.
Oh, great. But then, did you like kind of customize the vehicle before you started?
Yes, yeah. 15 years ago, we built the whole camper out of basically junk. Wow. So just kind of pieces. Me and my dad. The pieces we found just in the dumpster. We put it on, and yeah, built it just for some fun on the weekends, and it turned out way better than we thought it ever could. So.
But then let me ask, why Africa?
I think it's we kind of looked at it, and it's kind of the hardest thing you can do hardest trip you can do by vehicle. We thought, if you can do that, you can kind of do anything. So why not go for the hardest and complete it, and then you've kind of done something.
Then how's it been from Mombasa to where you are today?
Perfect. No problems whatsoever. It's been awesome. Everyone's been super friendly. It's been super easy. Visas have been easy. Everything's been easy.
Okay, great. So what's your, where exactly that you would say that you had your best time?
I think Namibia and Congo are my favorite countries. Congo is just so wild. The jungle's amazing. Namibia is super easy to travel in. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, I loved it.
What are those things that you saw that you love? Is it, the rock formation, the kind of trees that they have, the forest? Is it the animals? What have you been on?
Yeah, we like animals, but we like natural scenery the most. It's just also different, and everywhere's different. And I think that most of our travel is to natural places where you don't see the human touch as much, and you see the world as it was intended to be.
But a lot of people always, say, negative things about, Africa, Africa, that. Have you had, have you encountered those kind of negative things, especially at the borders, even the officials? Wow,
very little. We were warned about the bribery beforehand, and we've encountered very little. Just about nothing. Everyone had warned us it would be bad, and we've had just about all good experiences, basically.
So tell us what is your plan? Like the number of countries that you would like to go through, and at the tail end, what do you want to do? Do you have cameras? Do you record? Exactly what?
Yeah, well, we have an Instagram. It's on the door. We Should Be Adventurers, and we're planning to drive from Mombasa to Morocco, and then take the ferry to Spain, and then ship probably out of Spain or to England. So that encompasses around 22 countries, I believe. And I think we're over halfway there now. We've done about 20,000 kilometers, and we're expecting probably 6,000 to 7,000 more. So, yes.
But at the tail end, maybe apart from posting on your Instagram, do you intend to write a book or anything like that?
Probably not. I think the Instagram, we try to put as much effort as we can into it. So it's kind of everything that happens in our day you see on the Instagram. So we post every day. So about what happened in that day. So.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
In a world full of wonders, stories to be told, Mo on the Move, documentary gold, from human interest to culture in every frame. Journey with us as we explore and proclaim. Mo on the Move, where curiosity meets delight. With every episode, our hearts take flight, exploring nature, information, and tourism too. Join us on this